Iraqi special forces are now less than 1.5 kilometers from the eastern outskirts of Mosul and are preparing to enter the city held by Islamic State fighters. Hundreds of Counter-Terrorism Service (CTS) troops entered Bazwaya, the last village before the city limits, after launching a dawn assault on Monday. A BBC correspondent traveling with them says there was some resistance, with car bombs targeting the convoy. Units of the Army's 9th Division are meanwhile advancing from the south. Earlier, the military announced the start of an operation to retake Mosul's left bank, a reference to the eastern side of the river Tigris, which flows through the city from north to south. How is IS selling the battle for Mosul? Battle for Mosul, the story so far. 4 ways IS is fighting back in Iraq. Voices from Mosul as battle nears. The BBC's Ian Pennell, who was with a CTS unit, says the assault on Bazwaya, about 3 kilometers (1.9 miles) from Mosul, began early on Monday. Hundreds of troops in heavily armored Humvees, together with tanks and bulldozers, advanced on the village, supported by US-led coalition airstrikes, our correspondent adds. Within hours, the head of the Iraqi military's Nineveh Operations Command, Lieutenant General Abdullah Yarallah, announced that they had entered Bazwaya and raised the Iraqi flag. Our correspondent says that a column of troops is now probing different parts of Mosul's outskirts, as commanders make a plan about where to go next. One senior officer told the Associated Press news agency that they aimed to enter the city limits later on Monday, while another told Reuters they were already fighting in the Ka'arama district. CTS Commander Lieutenant General Abdul Wahab al-Saidi denied that the troops had entered Ka'arama. But he did say that they were moving on Kokajili, an industrial zone west of Bazwaya that lies about 1 kilometer from Mosul's municipal boundary. It had been expected the CTS would halt its advance until troops and allied fighters on other front lines also reached the outskirts of Mosul. Gen Yarallah announced earlier that the Army's 9th Division had taken control of the village of El Ag, 17 kilometers, 10 miles, south of Mosul. Army units also recaptured a number of villages to the southeast and north, the military said, while federal police are moving north from the town of Shura towards Hammam al-Alil. About 50,000 Iraqi security forces personnel, Kurdish Peshmerga fighters, Sunni Arab tribesmen and Shia militiamen are involved in the 2-week-old offensive to drive IS militants out of their last major urban stronghold in the country. Mosul fell to the jihadists in June 2014 and their leader chose a mosque in the city as a place to proclaim the establishment of a caliphate. Before the offensive began on 17 October, there were believed to be between 3,000 and 5,000 militants remaining in Mosul, along with up to 1.5 million civilians. More than 17,700 residents have fled so far and, according to the UN's worst-case scenario, as many as 700,000 others could follow suit.